Hi, this is Maya, and today I'm going to teach you how to draw an anime boy 3/4 view. So the first thing you do is we start off with a regular circle. So go ahead and spend some time on getting that the perfect length. And what you want to do is you want to draw kind of a triangle type thing down here. What this is going to do is going to form the jawline. And this line I'm drawing is going to be the neck. Now, the side of the face is always, for me, the most difficult part of drawing a face. So just watch how I'm angling out these lines and see if you can do that similarly in your picture. And as you can probably see in the picture to the left how it's going to turn out, it'll take some erasing and kind of working to get it perfect, but it really turns out for the best in the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of lines down the middle just for the placement of the eyes and ears and mouth and nose. One across horizontally. And don't be afraid if it takes you some time to get that angle just perfect. As you can see, it's taken me a little while. Go ahead and draw the ear in right there connected to the jawline. And go ahead and fill out the neck and shoulders. And because it's a boy, you want to make the neck a little bit thicker than you would on a girl, just to show a little bit of masculinity. And that jawline should be pretty distinct. This is obviously different than on a girl, where you have the soft, kind of disappearing jawline. On a boy, you want to make it really just defined so that you know that you're dealing with a more masculine character. So now that we have it completely blocked out, we're going to go ahead and sketch in the eyes. And these eyes should be smaller on a boy than they are on a girl. And sketch in the nose. The nose should also be more defined than you would normally draw on a girl. The mouth and the bottom lip. You can notice how much I'm erasing and redoing, so don't feel bad if you have to erase and redo the same amount or more times than I am, because sometimes it takes a few tries to get something just the way you want it. What I'm doing here is blocking in the upper eyelashes and also blocking in the iris. Because it's a 3/4 view, you might notice how the iris is actually closer to the right side of the eye, and this needs to be done this way on both eyes because he is looking off to the right. This means on this eye, the lashes need to be nearly non-existent on the right side. You can put in the eyelids and the eyebrows, and you've got your basic template for the anime boy. Next, we're going to sketch some hair, and I'm doing kind of a bang that doesn't go straight across, but actually kind of flops over to the right side. And because as a boy you want to make the hair more shaggy than neat. On a girl you'd want to do everything with very smooth lines, but on a boy, go ahead and make it just a little bit messy with a couple of stray hairs around the ears. And we can start filling in the irises. What I just did there is a shine, and the light is coming from the upper left corner. Filling in the neck and the collarbones. Defining the neck and ears a little bit more. You'll notice that boys usually have pretty big ears. They're more proportioned to actual human sizes than cartoon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to finally fill in the lines. For this, I'm using Prismacolor Premier markers, and this is 05. Fill in the ear a little bit. What you want to do is just keep the marker pretty loose in your hands so that you can make those nice curves, especially on those jaw lines and neck. You just don't want to have anything too stiff, or else it gets really choppy. So just try to relax your hand and just draw them freely. What I'm doing here, that my hand is blocking, is I'm kind of filling in the upper eyelashes just a little bit, as well as putting in some darker areas around the top of the iris. That just gives it a little more of a pop. And I'm also adding the pupil, which you can see is not a solid black line, but it's just kind of a little C. You'll see later that it'll turn out to be an important part of making the eyes look like they have depth. And a very, very popular style in anime nowadays is to kind of leave the mouth in the center unconnected. And I guess that's to try to portray the lips, but if you look at any modern day anime that was made in the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see that most, especially boys, are done that way. And as you can see here, I'm adding a couple extra strands. Just to make the hair look fuller. I always want to make sure I do the eyebrows after the hair, because while some styles have the eyebrow actually visible over the hair, I try to keep mine mostly hidden under the hair for a more realistic feel. And then we can erase. Make sure you give depending on what kind of pen you're using, your pen a few moments to dry so that you don't end up smudging your lines. Once that is finished, I'm just going to fill in a few details here. Sometimes it's beneficial for your character to go ahead and add some darker lines around the jawline or neck, or any areas you feel like if you put a little bit of extra line there that it would make it pop. You go ahead and do that. I'm taking my ebony pencil right now and filling in the irises. I'm just putting a little dark shadow up at the top and then gradually getting lighter as I go down. And you can see how much depth that adds to the eye if you start from the top and then just gradually lighten as you go down. And we are mostly finished. The only thing I have left to do is, like I talked about a minute ago, is I'm going in here and darkening up a few lines. You can see how much that adds. Just makes all the shadows a little bit stronger. The last thing to do is to go ahead and sign your name. And the anime boy is complete.